Hi, welcome to JJ's Productions. We've got another Hitman 2 video. We're doing two challenges on the Isle of Sgail today, and they are Sleight of Hand and Mistaken Identity. Now, both challenges involve strangling the Washington twins with an Aztec necklace. So this is quite interesting to do stealthily, I'll admit. Both of these challenges involve an NPC called Blake Nathaniel, so we are going to have to knock him out at some point. Now, I've opened that door because Blake is in the other room and he only moves when he's sort of in earshot. So as you can see, I'm going to use the peephole here, and you can see Blake just there. So we are going to have to just keep an eye on him as far as he's not a complete nuisance, but you don't want to get caught by him. So as soon as Blake's moved and that guy on the left has sat down, we're going to turn off the fuse box. That gets this guard to move out of the area. Now we have to be a little bit fast at this point because we've got a coin in the hand and we're going to throw it in that direction. It's going to make the guy on the computer move across to the right where the crate is, and we're going to use the fish to knock the guy out. The trouble is there's a camera above, so we've got to knock him out and then immediately shoot the camera. So it's a little juggling act. You can't let the camera see the body, but equally you've got to make sure that you knock the body out first, not the guy out first. So a few things to keep in mind there. If you can as well retrieve the coin, but it's not the biggest problem if you can't. So we're going to disable the display case now, and we're going to jump over here to get back down to the ground floor. I'm surprised this isn't a illegal action, but hey ho, I'm quite glad it isn't. And from here what we're going to do is we're going to trigger the fire alarm. That'll get everyone in this room to panic, bar the two security guards. At that point we're going to have to just sort of be very creepy or sneaky and wait until both of them aren't looking before we pick up the necklace in this display case. So you pick your moment carefully because they do go on random patterns. It's not something that I can just say to you, right, do it now. You have to just basically look when both of them aren't looking and bide just a moment, take your moment. So that first one's left the room, so at this point I thought he's moving to the left, so I'll just sneak around and pick it up. Also, I did notice the other day when perusing on YouTube that you can get another challenge if you also place an apricot on the display stand. So if you want to do that, you can do. I wouldn't advise going through more effort than what I've done here to just do that, unless you really like the idea of placing an apricot on there. It's a funny little challenge, but I wasn't going to go finding an apricot just to do that. So at this point we've got a bit of waiting because we need Blake Nathaniel to actually realise that the necklace has been stolen and make his way to this little area here. So I'm going to actually mute the audio just for the fact that it'd be good if you can actually hear what's going on, because the Constant comes down here and has a little chat with Zoe, and that tends to override the audio anyway. So I'm going to just blend in here and I'll see you in a moment.
The audacity of that woman! You!
Mr. Nathaniel?
What am I looking at?
Why, that's the... Oh my... But... it's gone. It can't be. What? The alarm.
Expertly disabled.
Good evening, Zoe.
Wow. There was someone here the whole time. And besides, stealing from the Order? No ARC member would be so foolish or disrespectful.
I hear you've taken steps to make
Maybe
the
one of these
initiation somewhat more exciting.
I'm cutting in here because the Constant and Zoe's conversation overrides Blake Nathaniel's ranting, and I'm a little disappointed there. I think it should be a case of what you're focusing on as in a challenge should be the focus rather than what necessarily the Constant and the Target are doing, which I sort of understand why the game prioritises it, but equally it's like, come on, let me listen to Blake. Anyway, we'll go and wait for Blake to come through. So if you look at the minimap, he's just passed through the door and two guards are just exiting the area. So as soon as the guards have exited the area, I'm going to shoot the tap. That'll cause Blake Nathaniel to come in here, and we've then got our disguise. Now, Sophia is very easy to kill. She's probably the easiest kill so far as this map goes. What I would say is that Zoe's kill is a little bit more complicated, and I feel it's more down to bugs than anything. So I'll walk you through what we do. I've knocked this guy out and we're going to put him in the crate, change disguise. We're also going to pick up any goodies that were left. Now, my gut feeling is that you should be able to kill Zoe anytime now, pretty much, because she's just passing through this area, and I believe that because this sink's overflowing, she should hear it, and so should the guard. Now, my belief is if you put a gun in that room, I believe the guard should take the gun away, and Zoe should be distracted enough that she goes to investigate. However, Zoe seems to have inherited VIP behaviour very recently, and it just means that it's not easy to lure her. So, it's not that I believe VIP behaviour should be ruled out, because, you know, I do think it's an interesting mechanic in the game, but I've seen routes and playthroughs where she doesn't have VIP behaviour, so it's annoying. For those of you who don't know, VIP behaviour is essentially when targets tell any other NPC to go and investigate something, so they're very hard to lure. And a prime example of that is Ken Morgan in Hitman 2016. So yeah, you do get them, it's not unknown, but equally I think Zoe has become one rather than being one from the start, so I'm curious what other players think of that. As you can see though, this disguise is pretty good. We've managed to get to Sophia without any problems. We initiate a prompt. That guy decided to climb for some reason, so we've got a buggy character there. But yeah, we've interacted with her again in the room, shown her the necklace, she kicks the guards out, and as every Hitman player knows, once the guards are out the room, it's pretty much free reign to do whatever you like. So yeah, we have a little conversation here. Sophia decides to have the necklace put on her at Blake, inverted commas, idea, and here we go. So yeah, it was a pretty simple kill this. I think this is actually too simple. I think it would have been fun if you had a bodyguard there with you and you had to get rid of them somehow. But I'm not against an easy kill. Especially considering how convoluted this Zoe one's about to be. So, Zoe, she was much more complicated than she needed to be. I'm going to shoot the surveillance just while I'm here as well, just to point out what I'm doing. So pull the gun out, take a shot, and change to a legal item as soon as you can. From here, we're going downstairs back to where Zoe is, and we really need to find an area where we can get Zoe on her own. And that's very tricky in this disguise. I don't think it's actually 100% necessary to kill her in this disguise, but I wanted to at least try it like that, just to keep the feeling of this challenge alive, because it would have been a bit weird had we not done it that way. So yeah, what we're doing, I'm going to try and do what I said, which is use the sink, and the trouble is, I know because I've played the level that this doesn't work. It's so annoying, I tell you, but the fact is I saw Zoe, I thought maybe I could lure her in the room, so I wait until she passes through the door, and then I open the door, I throw a coin inside, and what happens is she sends one of the guards or one of the nearby NPCs to investigate, so it's very frustrating. It shouldn't be this difficult. I get annoyed at it because I've seen routes where people have managed to get her in the room via the tap. It's not that hard. Even the Constant was able to go in there via the tap, and I haven't had luck getting him in there. So it's as if the devs decided, you know what, we don't like that, we're going to alter things, and I think they forget that it can affect challenges, because Zoe goes on a very specific route where she's around people a lot of the time. So yeah, it's very annoying when it happens, because suddenly you have to come up with maybe not creative ways, but you certainly have to find an opportune moment to get her. Because as you can see, she's coming around here. There's a freezer, which we can put her in. The difficulty is she's got a guard with her, and the guard is the problem. So the aim was that if I could lure Zoe over here, maybe I could get rid of her via dropping a gun. But that doesn't really have the desired impact either, because first of all, she notices Blake crouching, and that freaks her out, so we have to stand up. But then you have to crouch very quickly and hope she won't she won't realise that Blake's the one who threw the coin. Not to mention, she spots the gun, takes the guard away, but then she doesn't actually go to investigate the coins. So there's quite a few annoying little factors here. I mean, I wanted to stall her here, so I thought I'll bump her, see if that works. Unlike Hitman 2016, the bumping mechanic isn't as effective. That used to be a case if you could bump someone, they'd slow down and you could actually drop something, but she just pretty much ignores the coin. So yeah, I had quite a few irritations with Zoe, and she was really winding me up in this playthrough. So what did I do? I decided to try it all again, unfortunately, and the only difference I made was that I decided to knock the guard in the purple coat out in the bathroom, so that meant he wasn't there. So I am going fast forward just so that you don't have to see all of that, and hopefully you'll get a better picture of our killed Zoe this time. So I'll see you probably 5 minutes time in game. So I did mix up the location of where I was going to knock out the guard. It wasn't the bathroom, but it was this freezer here. No big deal, but it was slightly awkward. Anyway, I placed the coin down there. And again, I'm crouching, but there isn't much benefit because Zoe will call me on it. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to throw a wrench. I'm going to throw a wrench up the corner, and hopefully she'll hear the wrench, but she'll see the coin. That was the plan. And I would advise you to stick to that. What I would also advise is getting rid of the guard, because even if you use a gun to get rid of the guard here, Zoe will still ignore the coin. So get rid of the guard, otherwise it will just be a pain. So as you can see, I'm on a she's on a pass through now. She will see Blake here, but we're going crouch and we're going to throw the wrench up the corner. She'll turn, she'll see the coin, and she'll go to pick it up. At that point, equip the Aztec Necklace and strangle her. It's a good kill, this. It's just annoying that it's so awkward to do. But as you can see, good chance to garrote, good place to hide her, and it's all done. So there you go. You can pick up the kill switch if you want. You can go and help Lucas get the constant, but personally I wouldn't. I don't know why she came around. There wasn't any noise or anything, but, you know, NPCs will be NPCs. So yeah, you've got a choice of exits now, and I realised I hadn't been to the helicopter one before. Now, that was slightly problematic for me because Blake Nathaniel's disguise doesn't allow me to get to the helipad, but I thought, oh, what the hell, let's try go that way. So we are going to sneak a little bit. If anything, it's a good chance to do a bit of stealth in the game. So climb through this window. We're going to sneak all the way across to the right-hand side, where them arches are. Just take your time, don't let the suspicion worry you too much. If you go slow, it takes longer to build. I actually rushed things a little there, so that's why it built a bit faster. We're going to use this as cover. We're going to wait for that guy to turn around, and as soon as he turns around, we can sneak to the next bunch of barrels. Well, not barrels, crates. Once we're by them crates, we're going to throw the wrench to the other side of the helicopter, and that will be enough to get to the helicopter. So, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. I'm aiming to get 5 likes on as many videos as possible, so if you could be one of the 5, I would appreciate the like. Also, if you're enjoying Hitman 2, subscribe to the channel because I'm releasing videos as often as I complete challenges, and I would like to just get as many views as possible, so if you could be one of those views as well, and one of those subscribers, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again in another video. Bye for now, everyone.